But
it's
that's
great.
the thing. I on an AMA that Raimi was answering on Reddit, he said that like his favorites were Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. So that's he's really doing the things that he loves, the Ditko creations,
This
right?
is
So
sweet. This is super
yeah,
sweet to see. You know, I mean, it's motivating. It's. I mean, the only thing that I hope for is that Disney actually lets him
let him be
be
fully.
who he is. Because the thing that the my least favorite headline is director steps out of project due to creative differences. I fucking hate that
Well, I think
headline. Whatever.
Marvel often gives a lot of leeway for the directors to make their own
I don't
make
think
their
they
own
do
settings.
because that's what
It
happened with
all
Ant
depends on
Man.
as well.
Huh?
Because I feel like Guardians is very James
Yeah,
Gunn,
as I'm saying.
but if we look at like Ant-Man, not as much, I think.
Well, with Guardians, I feel like they he was allowed to do that because not a lot of people knew about Guardians of the Galaxy, so
Right.
they let him do his own thing. So you know, but with what was it? But aside from that, when Disney really begun to have like its own identity, tonally, aesthetically, it it's like this. That's where it became a little like even if you have like a director who's known for something, like their visual personality or the thing that makes them them is taken out. Um,
I think
so, go ahead.
there's one counter example I will provide to that in the later half of these Marvel films would be Taika Waititi.
Oh
His
yeah,
he has been unhampered because if you go from Hunt of the Wilder People to like Jojo Rabbit to
Yeah,
Thor Ragnarok,
yeah.
there's no difference. It's him.
true. Although I feel like that he was lucky because
Yeah,
it's like he could direct the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's like it's so in line with that where his style perfectly meshed. Well, like you know, he changes a few things in there, like narratively, like you need the you know the big baddie and the thing at the end, and all the you know the conventions of the modern superhero film.
Yeah, but
That's all he needed to add. But other than that, like Taika
well,
Waititi was like he was like
he's a good
welcome into the MCU,
well, I
and
mean
he did his job.
there was a very big transition between like the first two Thor movies, for example, and then the third one, where it's like
Very much so.
yeah.
very different.
Yes.
And you can't complain about them. You can't complain about that because I mean the first two, I mean the first one, it's a good movie, but it's not a movie that you rush to rewatch. It's not a movie that you really remember for
Yeah,
the. I
for
mean,
me.
there's a few character moments that became memes, like you know the you know oh I like this thing, you know another slams on the floor,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's great, but like aside from that, you don't have, especially the second Thor movie. It's like you don't people don't talk about it as much. People basically forgot about it. The villain was crazy forgettable. So with the
Yeah,
third
the
one,
most
okay,
single most forgettable, I think.
yeah, like it's not terrible. It has good things in it, but
Yeah,
people don't care about it. But so with the third one, like let's just have a good time and do whatever, and you know have Goldblum be Jeff Goldblum, but wearing a space
but
robe,
Yeah.
the
and
definition of this, let's have fun with it. You know,
yeah.
Well, yeah.
that's great.
Well,
So
that's the thing. That's why I feel like also the same thing with the Black Panthers. Sort of like let Ryan Coogler sort of be authentic
That's
with the
true.
way
Black
they
Panther is very much has a lot of
like they literally went to Africa to meet different tribes and actually replicate
not
these tribes and
family
all.
friendly either, dealing with like Oakland and just
Yeah,
well, I
very
feel like well, I
political.
mean, I don't
like
think that's too taboo because I mean, when you think of like the first Iron Man, like the way that they show, the way that they portray,
Oh yeah, Afghanistan and all that.
yeah, that was rough. I mean, I remember the scene where they're about to kill the kid's dad in front of the, like, sure they didn't do it, but it shows you
Hence, yeah.
it's intense. You feel it. So the whole thing about like Oakland, I feel like it's not like you got to do that. Like you're talking about, it's Black Panther in 2018. You
yeah,
Yeah.
have to bring up those issues. It would have been wrong not to do
yeah.
so. Like by example,
But
like
that's the thing though, because Disney doesn't really like usually Disney, they stay away from politics. They like dabble in it, but they don't go into it like
Right.
completely.
Oh, but the backlash that they would have gotten if they win. I mean, especially now, like now, right now, the big
Yeah, that's
thing
what I'm
is
saying.
what Falcon,
It
the
would've-
Falcon
Falcon
and
Winter
the
Soldiers,
Soldier.
exactly. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
if they like, look, listen, Captain America, but now he's black. This brings up a lot. This is like a big conversation that you're initiating. So if you're not saying anything with it, and we're going through this Black Lives Matter thing right now, and it's like, I mean, it's always going to be a big thing. It always has been, but
Yeah, it's
now
not a
you
new-
can't,
Yeah.
like, you can't not tackle it. So all the people who talk about like, oh, I don't want my superhero stuff to be politicized. Yo, you're talking about a guy who's wearing the American flag.
Captain
What is
America.
wrong with you?
Issue number 1 of Captain America is him punching Hitler.
Thank you. That's it. It has
It
always
was
been
always
political.
political.
Yeah.
Everything that has ever been made by humans is political in a sense, because politics is a system of ideas.
I mean, yes,
That's-
it varies. Like, I mean, you could say that the Guardians of the Galaxy is not that political. I get
Right,
it.
that's
It'd
fair,
be
yeah.
weird if it were, but Captain America, where you have the story of a black guy black guy who's taking up the mantle, and
Yeah.
you have you basically have the alternate scenario from the other generation who basically did it and was thrown in jail and was tested on. There are so many parallels with like
Yeah.
reality where you can't ignore it. Ignoring it would be
Yeah, I'm
super
so
harmful.
glad. I'm so glad that Isaiah Bradley is a character in the movies.
Yeah.
Seriously,
I never thought that he would show up in a movie.
I never knew about this guy.
Yeah.
And
That's the thing. He's in one mini series published by
Amazing.
Marvel, and like history, he is forgotten after that. But
see,